Jeffrey picks up his phone for the 7th time this morning. He loves going through TikTok. He scrolls and scrolls and scrolls. He goes, once he doesn't find nothing in TikTok, he goes and goes through Instagram, scrolls and scrolls and scrolls. Scrolling never ends. He doesn't do nothing productive. He's just scrolling. That's his dopamine hit he gets every day. There's not one day he doesn't go through there. Got Adonis on the other hand. Adonis is strong. He doesn't even have social media. He reads when he's bored. He gathers knowledge instead of going and scrolling. He flips pages instead of scrolling through the screen, right? So, which one you want to be? You want to be a Jeff or you want to be an Adonis? I believe a man should try his best to reach an Adonis level, right? To be like Adonis, you want to be that. You want to be that man. You don't want to be you don't want to be an everyday guy. You shouldn't even have social media. As a young man, this should be years you use to build, to form yourself, to be successful, to build your body, build a aesthetic physique. That's what it's about. If you're bored, you should not be scrolling. You're bored, pick up a book, gather some knowledge, read a couple self-improvement books. How many of y'all read? How many of y'all actually are able to sit down and read and know what y'all are reading about? Most motherfuckers, as soon as they start reading, their mind just flies. And I know some of y'all could relate, because I used to be like that. I used to not be able to read. As soon as I started reading, I didn't know what I read. I used to skim down. I used to read the pages. By the time I got to the end of the page, I didn't know what I read, right? Because our minds are so fucked because of social media. Our attention span has minimized. If you go look at, I'm not really big in studies, but if you go look at the studies of the attention span back 20 years ago and the attention spans of a man now, I promise you, I bet you anything. Look it up right now. The attention span has reduced dramatically. How long is a TikTok? 10 seconds? And most of y'all can't even finish the TikTok because you already going to the next one. We're fucked up. Our head it's all fucked up because of that. We can't even finish a 10-second TikTok because we're already scrolling to the next one. And that's why y'all shouldn't even have social media. I got rid of mine, right? I don't have TikTok. I deleted Instagram. I've never downloaded TikTok for the same reason. Because Instagram was bad enough. Instagram already implemented the TikTok stuff. If you think about it, the social media is like a slot machine, right? You know, gambling is an addiction, right? Where you pull the lever, it spins. There's people that study that. There's people that study addictions. There's people that are getting paid millions of dollars to find out how to keep us addicted to that stuff. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, they're paying these nerds thousands, millions of dollars to find a way to get us more addicted because they use attention as currency. They get your attention, they have your attention. Now they get to sell it to everybody. That's the biggest. What is it? If people need attention, they could sell at you anything. So Facebook grabs your attention and sells it to companies. That's why you see ads, right? You see ads in between TikToks or whatever. You see ads in YouTube. So your attention is so valuable to them. So that's why they want to make you so addicted to it. They're trying to find a form to keep you, and they found it. They found it. You can't win against them. These are thousands of nerds that are literally dedicate their lives to studying this, studying the human brain. Y'all are like fucking monkeys. Y'all just keep going back to it like it's worse than being. It's an addiction that nobody talks about. Nobody. People talk about gambling addictions, alcohol addiction, drug addicts, and all that, but people don't talk about being addicted to social media. Everybody is addicted to that shit. Even your mom, even your grandparents. They used to say, "Ah, how were your grandparents a couple years ago?" They wouldn't even they didn't even care. They were like, "Oh, I don't want to use that." Now look at them. Look at your grandparents. Look at your parents. Look at your sisters, your brothers. They're all they're all affected, right? You can't win against those nerds. They study that. They study the human mind for a living, and they get paid millions to keep you glued to your screen. And every day they're implementing more and more and more. And there you are. You're still stuck there. Ask anybody. Ask anybody that you know. Tell them to delete TikTok. See what they tell you. Oh, I need it 'cause when I'm bored. Or even some people are like, oh, you learn a lot of stuff there. That's what I've heard a lot. People are like, oh, I learned a lot of stuff in TikTok. It's like Google. It's a coping mechanism. They already got you where they want you. For you to defend it so much, they already got you. It's like the people that smoke weed. Oh, I could quit anytime I want. I just don't because it relaxes me. Right? That's a Jeffrey mind right there. Jeffrey mindset. When you're addicted, you will do anything to defend it. You start pointing out the good things. Oh, but I learned this and I learned that. I learned how to cook from there. I learned how to build a cabinet from there. You're focusing on the good stuff. But what about the bad stuff? What about all the hours of scrolling? What about all the procrastination that you had through there? What about your attention span? You can't even read one page of a book without your mind flying off. You can't even have a conversation anymore because your mind will wander off. People need to change, right? And I believe that's why I do these videos. I'm here to help people, right? Or at least, hopefully, you find these helpful. So, just get rid of it. Even if you tell yourself, "Oh, I'm gonna minimize it," right there, you're coping. You're just try you can't go against social media. You could try to minimize it. You can't minimize it because let's say, oh, I only get an hour a day. Okay, now you're looking up to the hour all day. And you know what? Once you're scrolling, that hour goes by and you're like, oh, you know what? 10 more minutes is not bad. There you go. You're fucking up right there. Because that hour turns to an hour and 30, an hour and 30 to 2 hours. You're not mentally strong enough to go against these nerds. They already implemented that slot machine. That slot machine is the same thing. Those noises, them scrolling, that that causes dopamine to hit in you get that dopamine hit. And that's what makes you feel good. Right? We live in a life full of dopamine. We get dopamine. We don't even have a hard life anymore. Compared to 50 years ago, life was hard back then. We just gotten in a very comfortable life. Like, I believe you need to put yourself through some type of hardships. If it's going to the gym, going run in the morning, you got to put your body and mind through something hard nowadays. You just have to because of so much dopamine that's around us. If you want a meal, you could just order it through your phone and it'll come to you. You don't even have to struggle to go and order it. That's how bad it's gotten. So I need to change. Yeah, if you ain't gonna it ain't gonna change unless you do something about it to yourself. Right? Get rid of that social media stuff. Get rid of it. Read books and work on yourself. Work on yourself, work on yourself, and work on yourself. Never stop working for yourself. Or never stop working on yourself. It's a lifelong journey. And if you're really trying to be like that, you're really trying to be that man, it would take a life. It would take your whole life. But that's what it's about, right? Y'all stay on the grind.